about this for a moment and just look at it this way. If I have a weapon and I have it holstered and a police officer approaches me, or say he's pulled me over for a traffic violation of some kind, or what he perceives to be a traffic violation, or for some other reason, doing a checkpoint stop or whatever it is, and I let him know I'm carrying a sidearm. Officer, I'm carrying a sidearm. If that officer then says, well, do you have a permit? I'll say, yeah, a permit's called the Second Amendment. It's the right to keep and bear shall not be infringed. That's my right to carry. My right to bear shall not be infringed. Are you going to infringe on that, officer? And of course, that's not going to get you any points with an officer if you say that. But that's kind of my opinion lately, is I don't even want to have a permit anymore because my right to carry is granted to me under the Constitution. Why should the state be able to take it away and give it back to me? That's this whole point of this whole video. So this police officer over here, Johnny Law, he's Johnny Law protecting the citizens, right? And he's doing his job, and he's saying, well, you don't have a permit, you cannot carry in the state of Indiana without a permit. Really? What good, if I had a permit in my hand and said, here, I have a permit to carry the gun, what good does that do the officer at that point? So stop and think about that. What good does that permit actually do this officer? The permit does him no good. The permit only tells him immediately he doesn't have to do a background check. He probably still would do a background check just to make sure that this is who he says he is. And how does he know I happen to have my permit on my hand? And you can have a permit. It's good for like 4 or 5 years. Now you can get a lifetime permit in the state of Indiana, which is, I don't want to belittle it, but it can be considered a joke because they can reverse that. It's not in the Constitution. They can actually get it changed, and you can pay the money for a lifetime permit and then get it taken away from you anyway later on. There's different legislation that can happen. So it's happened before. So now the police officer says, he sees that I have a permit. How does he know that I didn't just happen to commit a felon a year ago or be charged with some kind of crime that would have normally taken that? He can't tell just by looking at the permit itself whether or not it's still valid or not. And they ask you to surrender your permit, but you can say, I don't have it, I lost it, whatever. And you could still end up having the thing. A criminal can lie just like anybody else. And so it's one of those things where on the street, it would only can be used as deceptive purposes, or it could even be forged. It's not that hard to forge one of those. So I have a real problem with that, as opposed to having the officer actually do his job and check the individual that he's concerned about carrying a sidearm. Now, I'm not sure it should be like, Dodge City and everybody's got a gun on their hip and everybody's walking around, but I've gone to events where everybody was wearing a gun. I've gone to gun ranges and nobody's been shot. There's a lot of guns around and nobody's been shot. I've gone to Second Amendment meetings here in Indiana where there was hundreds of people, and I'm sure most of them probably were armed at the time. Nobody got shot. I've been in gun stores, a lot of guns in there, nobody got shot. So I don't think it's the guns themselves. I think it's the law-abiding citizens who are trying to protect themselves, and they want the right to have a gun to do that. Maybe somebody else out there in this collective society, 51% of the people or whatever, think that guns are bad and we shouldn't allow guns. So we just need to get rid of all the guns and then we won't have any murders, because everybody knows that there were no murders committed until there were guns, were there? See, what was the first murder that was committed? Pretty sure Cain shot Abel with a gun, didn't he? I'm pretty sure he did that. Yeah, that's the first murder that we know that was committed, was Cain killing Abel, and I'm pretty sure he used a gun to do it. Yeah, that's got to be the way that worked out. So, think about that. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Keep, own, bear, carry. Infringed is restricted or impeded. Take that to your congressmen, to your senators, and make sure you let them know that you want them to revisit what they're doing with the Constitution and their infringement of our rights to keep and bear. That's all for now.